You wake on an unfamiliar shore. Your mission to escort a noble across the sea cut short by pirates and some gigantic, terrifying beast. You know not where you are, only that you must find the noble, no matter the cost. You've found yourself in the world of Salt and Sanctuary, a 2D platformer with Metroidvania-like exploration and tense combat. From the brains of the two-person team at Ska Studios, Salt and Sanctuary is filled to the brim with secrets to find, monsters to kill, bosses to die to multiple times, and thick, grim atmosphere. Shortly after you wake, you'll be greeted by an old man that asks you questions about your character's religious beliefs. Here, you choose your character's starting creed. There are 3 to choose from, and while early on it doesn't really matter all that much, as you progress, your creed will affect things that you're able to do at shrines throughout the game. Once you've chosen your creed, you wander further and find your first unclaimed shrine, which you quickly mark as belonging to your creed. Shrines serve as small villages of sorts, with up to 4 NPCs that you call in by making offerings of figurines that you find throughout the world. There are a number of these shrines scattered around the world, some already claimed by various creeds. Occasionally, you'll run across one that worships a god different than your own. NPCs in shrines for another god will not offer their services, or in some cases, even talk to you. You can change a shrine to belong to your faction in a couple of ways, one of which is very difficult and has some very hefty consequences. And if you change your faction to theirs, you become an apostate, meaning that you have a mark of sin and some NPCs will view you differently or not even talk to you. It's not a very deep mechanic, but there's certainly decisions to be made and some weight behind your choice of faction. It also has the great benefit of adding a lot of flavor and depth to the world itself, and is very well executed. There's a number of different kinds of NPCs that you can have. Some are your standard fare of merchant, blacksmith, spell seller, but there are 2 unique NPCs that I just really like the inclusion of. There are guides, characters that can warp you to any major shrine regardless of faction, and then there are leaders. By giving them materials you find in the world, you can upgrade the area that belongs to the shrine they're in, granting you various items that are recharged when you rest at shrines in the area. Each different NPC variety also adds a passive benefit to the area, to health, money dropped, and things like that. Lastly, shrines are where you level up. Leveling up costs salt, which is a currency used for a few other things like upgrading your weapons, but it's separate from gold. When you die, your salt is either consumed by the thing that killed you and you need to kill it to get your salt back, or it reforms as a strange creature. The skill system takes some getting used to. Leveling up grants you something called a black pearl, which you can then spend to gain a skill. Some skills cost more than 1, and you'll need to work your way through this skill web to be able to use certain pieces of equipment. The only thing that sucks is when you want to try an entirely new build later in the game. While you can find items that let you refund a single skill, I'm 11 hours in and I haven't found anything to reset the whole web. The world beyond your shrine is, in a word, grim. It seems like a hopeless land barely breathing. It's filled with a wide variety of enemies, traps, and secrets. Combat is visceral, but also a bit stylized. There's weight to your attacks, and you need to be sure to dodge, block, or parry attacks as they come at you. There are a few simple combos each weapon has depending on whether you're wielding it with one hand or 2, and there are a few weapons you can hold in your offhand. Each time you swing, jump, successfully block, or dodge, your stamina bar is drained, and everything just ties together with some nice Souls-inspired touches to make it a very solid and rounded combat system. You have to go into a menu to switch your weapon between one-handed and two-handed. This feels very limiting to my on-the-fly combat choices, but this could be because I'm so used to being able to just mix it up as I please. I feel like being able to switch on the fly would be a great addition, but at the same time, having to use the menus makes the game reward planning more than improvisation, so it's not bad, it's just different. Ranged attacks are a whole nother ballgame, and I'll admit I am not a fan of how they work. You hold down your attack button and then aim with your movement stick. After a few seconds, the weapon fires wherever it was pointing. This makes aiming a very on-the-fly thing and makes it hard to pick things off from any kind of distance. I haven't leveled a character to use spells yet, but the bow is awkward to use and hardly seemed worth it. The world itself is very well crafted. Being a Metroidvania at heart, there are plenty of secrets and hidden paths to find. Apart from that, all the areas you can find are intertwined and connected in various ways, with some unlockable shortcuts flecking the map. The way things are connected connected makes sense. You won't climb up a windmill and end up in a lava-filled valley or something. It all works and feels very grounded in reality for all intents and purposes. On top of that, there's a wide range of environments that you'll explore, each with their own platforming challenges and enemy varieties. As you wander about and dig around, you'll find yourself faced with many boss fights, all difficult and all unique. There are bosses that will most certainly take multiple attempts for the most part, and a lot of them will have you looking for attack patterns and openings, leading you to do better each time you fight them. Like many other things in Salt and Sanctuary, these bosses are very Souls-like in nature. Hard as nails and unforgiving, each one that you defeat feels rewarding and satisfying. A lot of the bosses ended up leaving me shaking from adrenaline. It's awesome. Now, what's better than running around exploring, fighting monsters, and dying a lot? That's right, doing it with a friend. Salt and Sanctuary has local co-op, so if someone else makes a character on their profile on your PS4, then you can talk to a sellsword in a shrine, and your friend can pop in with their character. The extra backup is really useful, and there are a few interesting mechanical tweaks built around multiplayer. While adventuring together, only the main player can progress to different screens. Both players can loot items, but if one player has already picked up a particular bit of loot lying on the ground, then they'll get a few bags of salt, consumables that can be used to grant you some salt. If a player dies, the other player can simply walk to a shrine nearby and the deceased player will be revived with their refillable items stocked all the way back up. There's no need to rest, so enemies already slain won't be revived and traps won't be reset. While it pulls from well-known and popular games and genres, Salt and Sanctuary does a brilliant job of providing fresh takes on a lot of mechanics and adds in some mechanics that were quite unexpected. I'd say a bit more on that, but spoilers! You can pick up Salt and Sanctuary on the PSN store for PS4 for about 18 bucks. It'll be coming to PC on Steam eventually, but there are no details on exactly when just yet. If you're a fan of Metroidvanias or the Souls series, then this is one for you. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Indie Bytes. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please remember to leave a like and subscribe for more. If you have any indie games that I should check out, then please shoot them my way. You can leave a comment down below, or you can drop me a line on Twitter. My handle's @forkh, or you can shoot me an email at fork4h@gmail.com. I'll see you next time. Bye!